Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Talk with Darius. We're going to be talking a bit about the black culture. There's a young man that came out recently, maybe over the past couple months or so, several months or so. I hear his age is probably around 6 to 9 years old. Goes by the rapper name Lil RT, who's been promoted in a rap video and saying some things that grown-ups, even in my opinion, some grown-ups shouldn't even be saying. But at his young age, he's uh, been he's been hailed and celebrated and praised for coming out. And so anyway, people who are using him, and yes, I do use that term, using him for their own selfish gain, have I think really done him and the black community a disservice to some degree, because our kids are growing up without a moral compass. They're growing up without a stable environment. Uh, Real men are becoming extinct, basically. Men of character, men of integrity, men of values, self confidence, and a good work ethic, and things of that nature. And the same thing with the women. Women are lacking in virtue. And again, I'm speaking generally. They're lacking in virtue, self restraint, self control, self discipline, a healthy self esteem, and a healthy view of themselves. And on both sides, there's a lack of a true self value. And so those are the things that bothers me. These are the things that are close to my heart as I observe my culture. I love and care about everybody, but in this specific video, I want to just address this issue because 5 to 10 years from now, at the latest, we will not, I don't believe we're going to recognize the next generation. And so, instead of acting, leaving these types of conversations behind closed doors, I like to share my thoughts with you. And so, Candace Owens, she's a prominent voice out there on the conservative side, and she's shares a lot of her thoughts on a number of things, politics and the black culture and all those type of things. And so we share a lot of the same values. I ain't gonna say 100%, but we do share a lot of the same values, and this is one of them. And so she and this young man uh, end up having a little. Well, they didn't have a conversation, but he did end up responding to her in a way that's disrespectful and unseemly. But I believe again that's motivated not by he himself, motivated by those who I'm gonna call them his handlers, people who are using them for their own selfish gain. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, and I'll let Candace start. I'll let Candace take it off from here.
At home, because he's one of them. And I want to point you to a rapper. Unbelievable. He is 9 years old, allegedly. We think he's somewhere between 6 and 9 years old, depending on which person you're believing. But he has an Instagram account. He also has a YouTube account. I'm going to show you one of his rap songs that is on YouTube. It is called 60 Miles. And I just want you to keep in mind here that as a YouTube policy, if I misgender someone, if someone believes on the inside there's something, and I use rhetoric to suggest that maybe they're not, I'm considered a danger to the YouTube community. My video will get taken down. But this 6 to 9 year old is allowed to have his video stay up. There's nothing wrong with the video that you're about to see from Lil RT. Take a listen. So in case you missed the lyrics, you would be lucky if you did miss them. I am going to slow it down because I think it's important. You saw a child there, and it's important to hear these lyrics. By the way, if you are around children right now, this is not the time because it's derogatory. It's worse than derogatory. So I'll give you 5 seconds, right? Make sure there's no children in the room. The lyrics that came from this song as being performed by Lil RT, the maybe 6, maybe 9-year-old, reads, "If she ain't sucking bleep, Lil BITCH, you can get the F up out my SH 100 round, hit him with the Glock, take an effer down. 100 round, BITCH, we in that kill, we gun take him down. 12 get behind me, that's the cops. We gun do 60 effing miles. Yeah. So to understand that, he is basically talking about a presumably random woman who can't hang out with him unless she's willing to perform fellatio. This is a 9-year-old, okay? And he is talking about his gun, and he is talking about having 100 rounds as he runs from the police. Totally YouTube content safe. Incredible.
Now, I want to point something out here. Listen to you heard the lyrics. Listen to the language this young man is using, this little boy is using. These are grown-up words. Where did he learn that from? Why does he have that kind of mindset? Where did he learn that from? He didn't come out the womb like that. I don't believe that for 1 second. See, we are all products of our environment in one way or another. Now, as we get older, able to make our own decisions, then we should make better decisions. But he's impressionable. He's being led, again, by his handlers who are seeking to take advantage of his youth, his ignorance, and his ability to draw an audience for their own financial gain so they can live the kind of life they want to live. Because had they rapped or sang this song, they probably wouldn't be nowhere near. They probably wouldn't get near this attention, the attention they've gotten since they've allowed this young man to do this little rap scene. And then you hear him using, I guess, the number 12 in relation to the cops. See, we want to talk, certain activists want to get on television and talk about racial issues whenever the cops and someone of a dark skin complexion is involved. And yes, there are wrongs that are done, okay? When you deal with humans, this is my mentality about it. When people are involved, there's a 50% chance things are going to go right and 50% chance things are going to go wrong. And it has everything to do with one's core values, has everything to do with the way one sees life, how people are feeling that day, what they were going through, or whatever the case may be. And so I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm saying those are things that happen. But you're training this young man to think negatively about authority. Listen to the words that was used about women. You ladies out there, you should really value yourselves more. You shouldn't allow yourselves, you shouldn't even call yourself, those who do, the B word. That's a female dog. The definition of it is a female dog. Why are you going around calling yourself a female dog? A dog, period. The fellas, I know it's a slang term we use among each other. We say, hey, dog, what's up, things of that nature. We don't literally mean the animal. But if you act like an animal, then why are you surprised if you get treated like one? I mean, it's really not rocket science. So he thinks if women are nothing more than a sex object at 9 years old or 6 to 9 years old. Cops he's already in opposition to the police officer, so he has no respect for law enforcement, or he's going to grow up without respect for law enforcement, while at the same time he's going to be taught that he's a victim of the system. Come on, man. Why are we playing games with ourselves? Why are we playing games with each other? These are the things I hate, the hypocrisy. And that's what this is. This is a lot of hypocrisy. And then people buy his videos and say it's cute. I may look into some comments about it, but what's cute about raising someone or a young man who's potentially going to be a liability to society rather than an asset? You want to be respected, but you give no respect. You want to make some money at any means necessary. You want the life. Come on, man. We got to do better than this. Where are his parents? Who are his parents? And why are they allowing their child, if they're involved, why are they allowing their child to be used to make money. That's what you want your son to be remembered as, is a little gangster rapper, a wannabe gangster rapper. Or one day he may grow up to be that. And I'm not putting people down who, I don't personally don't agree with the lifestyle and all that, but that's your business, But we want to be perceived a certain way while we carry ourselves a different way. He's being set up for failure. He's really being set up for failure.
Incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Now, I want to be clear, as this is being debated on the internet right now, this completely saddens me. It is the destruction of Black culture. It is the destruction, therefore, of American culture. And this is what we are starting to see. His mother is promoting him on Instagram. If you think that there's a problem with this, if you think that this...
See, there you go. There's what mom's at. Where's dad? In the Black community, where are the fathers, the strong men of character? I know they're out there. I know they are. They may be few and far between these days, but there are some. I wonder if the little boy's being kept away from a strong male figure. Could be his father, could be another male figure, his uncle, or someone who can be influential, a positive influence in his life. I wonder if he's being shielded from them.
Content should be pulled down. I do, and there's something wrong with you and you're jealous. People in the comments are calling this person Coco felon, okay? And to think that this is a mother saying that, oh, he's talented, people in the comments saying, well, he's talented and she's trying to help him pursue that path. No. This is a kid, and I hate to say this because we've seen so many instances of this in the media, who will end up dead, okay? He is holding dollar bills, talking about killing people. If you think that his mother is setting him on the right path, then it's because you're an idiot, okay?
See, I agree with Candace on that too, because you're setting your child up. Again, where's the father? Where's the father? You're setting this child up to be a felon, if not in an early grave. Recently, the Colorado Buffs college football team, Coach Deion Sanders' team, and the other team, from what I understand, they were robbed of some of their belongings, and was returned as well. But one of the things I wanted to say, I didn't react to it. I thought I wanted to, but anyway, the story got old by the time I was going to get to it. So anyway, they got robbed, and I remember going out, doing some of my research and checking out some of the videos of the Coach Prime's team. Now, I'm all about you having some nice things, you don't know if you're going to get it 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. And so if you have an opportunity, I'm not opposed to a young man wanting to dress nice and maybe add a little something to improve his style, if you will, But depending on the stage you're in or you're on, you got to be careful. And so I'm looking at some of those kids, those young men, and they flashing their stuff. They flashing their nice jewelry. Well, somebody does not have your best interest at heart. They have their best interest at heart. And so if they see you have something they want, there are some people out there, as was proven, who will game plan or scheme. They don't care about your skin color either. And that's, again, this is why I talk about the hypocrisy, because I don't know if the thieves were black, white, or whatever. And in one sense, that really does not matter. My point in that case is we just don't hold ourselves and each other accountable as black people. But anyway, not to digress, they were wearing their jewelry and so to speak, flashing it. I don't think they intended it to be that way, but nevertheless, they were on a stage, and somebody saw what they had and they wanted it, and so they said, okay, as they came up with a strategy to steal those things. Now, I'm glad they, did it in that sense rather than try to rob those kids directly with guns and other types of weapons, so nobody was injured or hurt. That didn't even come into play, which I'm thankful for. But this young man here is talking about taking a gun and get into some trouble. Now, 9 times out of 10, when black folks, young black men, get into altercations and using guns, it's not against other colored folks. It's against each other. And again, I wish the outrage was just as strong on this side of it as it is on the other side. And that's where the hypocrisy falls. Yes, I'm using that word again, hypocrisy. These things are dear to my heart because I'm tired of us taking each other out, and we always got to blame somebody else for that. And so this young man, he's been set up for failure. And I hope somebody gets to him. I hope someone gets to his mother and demands that at least somebody close to the family. I say demands. Outsiders can't demand anything, but I hope someone gets to his mother to encourage her. She needs to be. She's not mothering him right. She is not. She may defend herself and say, "I'm doing this and that." She probably profiting pretty well off of it, of his success, but that type of attitude and behavior, especially from a 9-year-old or a 6 to 9-year-old, that should not be accepted. That should not be praised.
Idiot who contributes nothing to our society. And yes, some people have realized that. Here are some other comments that have appeared under this video. Y'all shouldn't be promoting this at all. There's nothing funny about it, says one person. Another person says his parents failed him. A third person says it's sad that kids can't be kids anymore. And all of those people are correct. Now, if you're thinking, shouldn't he be in school? You would be right. Because there's this video on his Instagram page. Take a listen. So they're laughing. He obviously has taken a piece of paper. He attempts to read it and says, "What the F does this say? I'm only 9," which is to suggest, obviously, that he can't read. So he needs somebody to come read that. People are giggling and laughing. It's not funny. If you are, in fact, 9 years old, not only should you be able to read, you should be able to read chapter books, okay? You should be in the 4th grade. And the 4th grade is when I began reading Harry Potter. If you can't read a piece of paper when you are 9 years old, then your mother has failed you, the school system has failed you, this country has failed you, and you have no chance. And it's not because of you. It's honestly not this kid's fault, which is why I'm not going to sit here and make fun of him. Has everything to do with his surroundings and the crisis that I am talking about in this country. Whether it is a kid that is actually in college, sitting in a university dorm, talking about how he's not getting drafted because he's on Wellbutrin, or it's this kid who's talking about Glocks that he wants to load up, and women, he's prepubescent, that won't perform sex acts on him. We are in a really bad place in this country. That's the point. We are in a really bad place. Shame on YouTube for allowing that content to stay up there. Shame on Instagram for allowing us to go through this. There should be a cry out and a demand that these videos get taken off of the internet. Moving on.
I agree with Candace 100% because the issue in this case is this. The moral fabric of our country is deteriorating, and it has been doing so gradually. But in the last few years, I've seen it deteriorate rapidly. That should concern each and every one of us. But it's easy to stay in your little circle, your little bubble, and say, "Oh, it's not affecting me. It's going to happen over here. It's happening over there, but it's not affecting me. I got me and my family. We good." Eventually, the troubles, the issues that happens over there on the other block eventually comes to your block. Then what? One of the things I've learned about people, and I'm still learning this, is that people don't listen until they have to. People don't listen to warnings. They don't pay attention to the signs until they have to. And this last minute mentality, wait till you're on the edge of losing something, or you done lost it, or you done lost the opportunity altogether, and then now you want to get it together. Now you want to get things right and all that kind of stuff. That's very costly. I mean, I've made my share of mistakes in life, Hopefully I won't make more. Hopefully I'll make a whole lot less than I have. But the point is, if we want change, we have to be the change. We have to be the change that we want. We can affect and control what we can affect and control. And if you let some outside entity or somebody on the outside dictate your behavior or the environment you're gonna live in, it's gonna affect you, and it's gonna affect you bad. And if you ain't careful, Look at what's happening to this little man. He is not aware of, I don't believe, of the advantage people are taking, the negative advantage people are taking of him and his success. And so somebody else is going to probably write a few more songs for him. And while they can, they're going to try to get the most use out of him as best they can. His mom and whoever else is involved. Unless someone steps in. Hopefully it's a member of the family. Somebody says, listen, we can't keep doing this. It ain't worth it. Core values should never be for sale. Core values should never be for sale. So in this next video, Candace, after that video we just watched was like a couple of weeks or so old. But just a few days ago, she does another video where she actually gets a response from this little man. Check it out.
We're talking about cultural issues today. We are talking about this moment. We are talking about parenting. We're really talking about children, right? What is happening right now in American society with our children, the things that they are being exposed to. Well, I think it was last week I covered for you a rapper, a 9-year-old rapper, an illiterate rapper, literally cannot read, named Lil RT. And so we recently covered his music video, which is up on YouTube. He's got an Instagram page. It's called 60 Miles. And in the lyrics, he's talking about women who he doesn't want to hang out with unless they're willing to suck his D. Yeah, he's 9 years old again, so he hasn't even gone through puberty. These are the kinds of lyrics that were coming out. And we covered this piece because it's not funny. It speaks to the corrosion of our culture. It speaks to the corrosion of Black culture, obviously a part of the bigger American picture. And people shouldn't find this sort of content to be funny. Well, it turns out that Lil RT, the 9-year-old rapper who cannot read but raps about sex, responded to me. I want to show you what Lil RT had to say. Take a listen.
What do you want to say to her? Why? What happened?
Hey, I'm being myself. They always need to start talking about like this.
Bring it to her restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You were telling me about that food trash.
So you hear him say that I need to be quiet because I'm all up in his silk. He's obviously being egged on by the adults, and that's really who I want to respond to because Lil RT is a child, and my heart breaks for him, genuinely. I see a child that could have so much potential, and yet he is surrounded by monsters, people that know that they are not furthering his rap career. In fact, they are probably leading him down a path of harm. Obviously, if he cannot even read at the age of 9 years old, the future is not looking bright for him unless there is some sort of an extreme intervention, in which there should be. You have people over at Child Protective Services that will show up at your house if you refuse the vitamin K shot for your infant at the hospital. And yet you have Lil RT that's creating content on the internet talking about women performing sex acts on him, talking about running from the police, and there's no problem here. That's just what they expect for Black Americans. They expect their prospects to be, well, let's return to the streets. You should always be on the streets.
And I wanted to respond again. That's what I meant to say, respond to a little bit earlier. You have these organizations, these social media platforms. They will take down certain information that they deem is misinformation or disinformation while allowing this garbage to stay on their platforms. That should tell you something. They're telling you what they value and what they do not. And truth is always being attacked. Personally, privately, corporately, publicly. Truth is always being attacked because it's truth. And people don't, just let's be honest about it, most people don't like truth. It's lies are easier, or living in a make-believe world. So much easier. Living a life without restraint is so much easier and so much freer than living a life of restraint and self-discipline. And in a world where restrictions and boundaries are there to protect you and others. At times, protect you from others or others from you. And it's amazing. And people don't want to deal with it. But hey,
streets. You should want to be a ball player, which is probably not going to happen statistically. You have virtually a 0% chance of being the next LeBron James. But if you pursue this path of music or you pursue this path of sports, maybe you end up like Lil RT and hope that you're not dead by the time you're 20. And so they're egging him on there, and he's saying she's all up in my silk. I can't answer that because I don't know what it means. I don't care to know what it means. I'm not for the streets. I'm not all up in your silk. I'm paying attention to how your parents are harming you, which your underdeveloped brain obviously can't comprehend. But they comprehend what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Whatever, they wrote some disclaimer there that he thinks I own a restaurant. I don't. They think it's funny to show that people are just jealous of him. We aren't. We are concerned for him because we should be concerned. Every person should be concerned when there is a young child who should have their entire world before them, who instead is sitting on a couch responding like as if he's in a rap battle with someone who is expressing concern for his life. Those adults don't care about him. That's the point. We are in a circumstance now in America where there are too many adults who don't care about their children, who care about clicks, who care about Facebook, who care about TikTok, who care about Instagram, and want to use their children to further their own desperate need for attention.
Right.
This kid needs a book. This kid needs to learn how to read. This kid needs better parenting. What we need as a society, by the way, I want to be clear, is better parenting all around. So I am disturbed by this response. I don't find it funny. I don't find it cute. I think we need to stop telling parents that this sort of stuff is cute and liking it and thumbsing it up. We need to call them out for their abhorrent behavior. In my estimation, these parents are behaving as if they're younger than Lil RT. It's an embarrassment. Hey guys, if you like this video, you are definitely going to...
I agree. Once again, I agree with everything Candace said. This is in my view, this is egregious because again, our future looks bleak. Really, the next generation looks very discouraging if we stay on the same path. Now there are remedies, okay? There are opportunities to change that. There are opportunities to make an impact, to make a positive difference in the lives of our young people, those that are willing to listen, are willing to be mentored, especially at an age like that. If he's that impressionable, all we got to do is turn him around before he gets into his teens, especially his mid-teens, because that's when it becomes even more difficult. So, man, I do feel sorry for that young man. I really do. And the adults around him, they should be ashamed of themselves, profiting off of at this young man's expense. Profiting at this young man's expense. You know, remember to like, subscribe, share this video, and set your notifications so you don't miss any more content. And let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that this young man is set up for success or failure? Yeah, have a good day.